person you can ever really rely on in this world is yourself. I stare at him, my mouth hanging open. You're lying, I whisper. You can't possibly compare to how I felt about my parents, how you feel about your belief system. Can you prove me a liar, Undead? He drawls. Can you prove that you cared more for your filthy muggles than those filthy muggles that spawned you, than I do values that have shaped my very being? They aren't filthy muggles. I snap, hating him once again in this moment. They were, he says smoothly. Besides, that wasn't an answer to my question I asked. I asked you whether you can prove me a liar. I look at him long and hard, look into those cold eyes, cold, unfeeling eyes, wishing more than anything that I could break into his mind just once. But even if I could, would I see that he was lying? Perhaps to him, it is no lie. And how on earth could he feel that kind of deep, powerful, all-consuming love for nothing more than a belief? He can't do it. It's not as if he can feel any kind of love anyways. The whole issue's immaterial, really. Sorry. He's staring at me, looking at me, as if he just doesn't understand me at all. I've always known that all I've ever known is that mudbloods are scum, he whispers. All my life, that has been the one thing I knew to be true. Even when I was in Azkaban, the world seemed to turn its back on me. I could still cling on to that knowledge, and take comfort in that belief that I would have my vengeance on every last one of them when I eventually escaped. I see chunks I just read ahead a little bit. I'm sorry. I see chunks flow through my veins, down my veins. Perhaps this is it. Perhaps this will be the moment when he finally snaps. Useless, worthless scum, he says softly, menacingly. Every last one of them. He pauses. His eyes soften for a moment as they take me in. He looks as if he's looking at me for the first time, once again. Except perhaps. He hesitates, and then he speaks again. His voice is barely more than a whisper. Except perhaps you. Oh, my breath leaves my body as my heart thuds in my ears. He reaches out and tucks a stray lock behind my ear. You're different somehow. I couldn't tell you why, but... He trails off, looking at me like a puzzle he desperately wants to solve. All I can feel is my heart beating so fast it's to burst at any moment. I'm nothing special, yes, I whisper. I never have been. I never will be. He smiles a small, bitter smile. Ah, my little mudblood, he whispers. If only you knew. He drops his eyes, running them over me slowly before he brings them back up to my face. He steps closer to me, too close, well within my comfort zone, but then he always has been, hasn't he? I have one wish, he mutters. His eyes were dark. And that wish is that your blood were pure. God knows where this could have gone if it were. He reaches out slowly and brushes my dress from my shoulders, pulling me closer to him. As he does so, sending fireworks down to the pit of my stomach. It would solve everything, he mutters as he leans in closer and closer until I can't see his face but can only feel his breathing hot on my neck. The entire situation would be so much sweeter. His lips brush onto the side of my neck, just below my jaw, as he grips me hard by the waist. I close my eyes as my mouth drops and an involuntary sigh eases from my lips as his lips trail down and down the base of my throat. This can't go on much longer, it really can't. Time is running out for us. I know that it is. But for now, all I can do is hold him back. I can't worry. All I can do is hold him back. I can't worry about the danger of all of this as he holds me hungrily to him, trailing his beautiful kisses down my throat, easing my robes slowly down and down until they pool around my feet, leaving me, as always, completely vulnerable to him. I slip my own hands under the over jacket of his robes, easing it off of him. He breaks away from me, looking at me strangely for a moment before he removes his own clothes, allowing me to help him. This is the first time I've done this, I realize. I'm actually helping him do this to me. But how can I not? When I need him so badly it almost hurts. His clothes join mine in a tangled heap on the floor, and black swirls in with the pale pink. His skin is so soft. I can never quite get over just how colorless it is. It's like solid ice. To touch it should be to freeze me to death. I know it should, but it doesn't. It's warm, so warm. It's like living marble. It's like marble, only living, breathing, warm marble. Unmarred. Perfect. Except for that mark. The permanent, horrible reminder of what he is, etched into his wrist forever. He walks me back to his bed, pushing me down on the mattress when we reach it. I fall backwards, coming to land on what perhaps is the softest bed I've ever had the good fortune to lie on. He moves above me, looming over me. His breath catches in my chest. My breath catches in my chest, like it always does, because I can never, ever let go of that one fear that one day he'll snap and kill me for what I've brought him to. But not tonight, I don't think. There's too much need in those eyes tonight. A kind of desperate hunger. He reaches out, looking at me intently, as he brushes a lock of hair behind my ear once more. And I can see it again. The black mark on the inside of his forearm, destroying the beautiful illusion you could have. That black mark on the side of his forearm, destroying the beautiful illusion you could have on him. You could have of him if you did not know him. Very evidence of what he is, inked into his skin forever. I sit up slightly, and the both of us freeze for a long moment. I take a deep breath before I tentatively reach for his wrist and trace my fingers down the horrible, ugly mark that mars his skin. He sucks in his breath ever so slightly. Why would someone so elegant and well-kept want to mark their arm with something so hideously ugly? What did you do tonight? I asked quietly, without knowing why I asked. I look up at him to see that he's frowning at me. What do you mean? He asks, his lips barely moving. What horrible thing did you do tonight, in Voldemort's name? I whisper. What did you do before you came here, in order to further his plans? He just looks at me, a tiny frown still knotting his brow. He doesn't understand why I'm asking. Of course he doesn't. He can never really understand. He pulls his hand back from mine. Do you really want to know? He asks coldly. I look at him, look into his eyes, trying to look past the layer of gray steel that coats the horrors that lie beneath. Do I really want to know what those eyes have seen? I don't know. Sometimes I think the pair of us are so different I'd probably go mad with horror if I'd seen the things that he had seen. But I know firsthand just what he's capable of, don't I? I sigh and look down at my own hands, clasped across my naked thighs. My wrists are marked too, vertical scars where Lucius made crossed over the vertical scars Lucius made crossed over the horizontal scars Bellatrix made. Permanent reminders. Oh my god, I just got to those make crosses. I am like finding so much religious symbolism in this book as I read it, BTW. Holy fuck, that is a huge spider. Oh my Jesus, that is enormous. Holy shit. Do not fucking come towards me. Hold on, guys. Oh my god. Fucking Black Widow's in my room, dude. That's not fucking funny. Sorry. That was so hardcore. It was like an enormous spider. Like the size of a fucking, at least nickel. Not to exaggerate, yeah, nickel size. Crazy. Crazy big spider. Okay. Anyways, fucking dead now, dude. Beat the shits out of that. Oh, the religious symbolism. Yeah. Like the cross. She has a cross on both of her arms. And then, what else? Oh, she's totally a martyr. And the fact that, like, clearly the whole thing, the symbolism of in his room, there's the tapestry with the Eden and the fall of man, where she has sex with with Satan, and then she has sex with Lucifer, Lucius, get it, and and she's Eve, get it, and then Ron is Adam, get it. It works, dude. I don't know anything about Lilith, so I don't know if Bellatrix is Lilith or something. I don't know, but that's the truth, bruh. And then it's like Harry Potter's God. I don't know if Harry Potter would be God. I don't know. Who would God be? No one? Everyone? I don't know. It's crazy. Cray. Alright. And then horizontal. Okay. Lucius' vertical scars crossed over horizontal scars Bellatrix made. Permanent reminders of what this world he lives in can do to a human being. He has his scars, and I have mine. He has his scars, and I have mine. He tucked his finger under my chin, bringing my face up to look at his. There is no remorse there at all. If you really want to know what I did tonight, then ask me again. He whispers. I bit my lip uncertainly. I want to know. At the same time, I almost prefer to live in ignorance, which is something that the old Hermione would have never even considered, but then perhaps that just shows how much he's changed me. I drop my gaze, allowing my eyes to stray to his shoulder. He has a scar there too. It's a scar that I made. A knife that would heal up. A knife wound that healed that long ago. Unconsciously, my hand moves to my own scar, tracing my fingers over the almost identical scar, which rests in almost the exact same place as his does. The scar that he made. Not one of those invisible ones he etched into my soul, but the one that he gouged into my skin. His eyes follow my fingers, narrowing for a moment when they see what I'm touching. There's a long moment of silence before he speaks again. Scars cannot easily be hidden. He whispers. I have mine, and you have yours. I didn't choose to have mine, I say indignantly, bitterly. You put that mark on your wrist out of a choice. He laughs a tiny, mirthless laugh. I made my choice long ago, he murmurs, reaching out and trailing his fingers down my cheek. And a little scarring is a small price to pay for the honor of serving the Dark Lord. I look at him long and hard, tears stinging in my throat. I can't bear it. I can't bear feeling this way. I do for such a monster. Bellatrix had a point in a way. What on earth is it that I want from him? Would you ever give this life up? I ask quietly, wondering all the while how I can dare to ask such a thing. But I don't see the anger I expect from him. All I see is incomprehension. Why on earth would I do that? He murmurs, looking at me, as if he just asked him whether it would be such a bad idea to cut off